Okay, so let's look at some examples. We've changed the external protocol here to RIP. So here we have RIP and ISIS. Let's have a little look at the impact this is going to have. So original RIP route 100 goes into ISIS. It would have been 160. Of course, the original RIP route of 100 could defend itself. So it comes into IS up to 100 and 60. As it tries to go from the ISIS table back into the INET 0, RIP defends itself. Of course, now that 160, because we've got wide area metrics only, is going to be a 15, because we're in level 1. The 15 cannot defend itself against the 100, and you will need to lower the RIP preference to below 15, say 14, which is why in a lot of designs you actually see those low metric values of the distance vector protocol. Okay, and what would happen if this was OSPF instead? Well, OSPF, obviously internally this is a 10. It goes externally, 10 over here. It goes externally, it would be 160, which clearly the 10 can defend itself. And with wide area metrics only, it would be coming back in as a 15. And of course, OSPF can defend itself against those wide area metrics without needing to move the preference value. And the same thing happens the other direction. So we do have to bear in mind that we've got an impact on our preference values, and we also have an impact on the propagation, because in this particular scenario, these RIP routes here are actually going to propagate right the way into our level 2 as they look like internals. How about IP version 6? Because this all seems relatively straightforward. Well, IP version 6 is different again. If you remember, the TLVs that we were discussing were 128 and 130 for IP version 4 being replaced with 135. Now, the IP version 6 TLV 236 is able to handle the differentiation between narrow and wide metrics. What this means is that once the wide area metrics only are on, the IP version 6 isn't inhibited. So if, for example, you had here RIP-NG, the RIP-NG here is going to have originally the 100, and this is going to be sent into the ISIS. It's going to still have a preference of 160, and the 160 coming back is not going to cause any kind of looping issues. So the first thing with the RIP next generation and the IP version 6 is that you don't have this problem. You know, the RIP-NG IPv6 can defend itself. And the second thing is that the RIP-NG will not flow from level 1 to level 2. It will follow the rules of no L1 externals to level 2.